Hello, hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Well,
You're here.
in a moment, we'll be here talking about AI, about chatbots, about being conversational and not just transactional. And we're going to discuss this with Sudha Mani. Please stay tuned because we'll be right back. Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good night, good evening, depending on when you are, if you are watching the recording or not. Today we're going to talk about a topic that lately is being discussed along social media, along people from digital marketing, which is chatbots. The problem that people are taking it to transactional, to cold, I mean... They don't try to make a conversation. And I had this, I guess it was a month ago, I booked Sudha to come here. And at the beginning, the topic was not this one. But because of the news, we came up with another topic. And we make some changes to adjust to the news, the late news. So I'm gonna bring Sudha to the screen. There you are. Hello. How are you?
Sorry about the camera, people. It's picking up only the FaceTime. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are or whenever you're.
Yep, because it's worldwide transmission. We never know. Well. If you are there looking to us, please share some ideas, share some thoughts. Just participate on the conversation because it will be great that you come with ideas, with doubts, with your questions. Please don't be shy. Well, Sudha, first of all, thank you for being here. It's a pleasure. It's
my pleasure.
It's really important to talk about this because I think we are going in a way that we try to be dehumanizing the things for instance, let's go automating, let's go this and there and statistics and so on because I mean you have to do this way because otherwise it won't work for you and all that kinds of stuff. I think we need to talk about this. But first of all, please introduce yourself so people can know who Sudha is. Hello? Well, Sudha got frozen. Okay, let's wait a little bit so she could come.
What happened?
Okay, now you're okay. Well,
I won't touch anything.
Okay, no problem. You're here. You're here. Well, Sudha, I asked you to introduce yourself and then we go to the conversation. Is that okay?
Yeah, brilliant.
Perfect.
Hello, everyone. As Marco said, I am very passionate about chatbots, but recently there's been few things which is in news. We would like to discuss this episode. My name is Sudha Mani, and I help entrepreneurs use business technology effectively in their business so that they can have time, financial, and also personal freedom, because that's why we all got into business, didn't we? So that's exactly what we are going to do today. Talk about a very hot topic. Chatbots have become more transactional and it's become a nuisance for many, and I know that personally as well. So take it back, Marco, and that's all I've got to introduce. If you know more about me, we can go. I'm of that person. Get into the content first. It's no haggling about anything else. I've got lots to share. That's another challenge.
Well, I can say to you that the other day I made a live video interview someone, and my share was also whoa, and at the end I hit the button finish, and the share broke, split away.
Oh no!
It was finished, and the wheels.
Technology can be. Technology can be nightmare sometimes. Yeah. You never know.
Well, Sudha, can you tell us, because I think it will be okay, because you started on the IT end, right? And then
yes, that's right.
You came to the marketing world. How?
Yeah.
How do you see it? Because sometimes there's a huge gap between IT people and marketing people, because
yes,
usually we have two different mindsets. Can you tell us how you faced the new world that came to your life?
No offense to any marketing professionals, and I've worked with quite a lot good marketing professionals, but most time I felt that they didn't understand the technology. They just almost used it haphazardly. That is one of the reasons why chatbots is in the state it is in at the moment. As a developer, we know there are certain limitations. We prepare for that limitation. We have got workarounds. So where I felt so passionately that marketing and business is not taking strategy very well, and they're very good at setting up the strategy, but when it comes to technology, the adoption is not open. Adoption is more done from the business perspective, which is transactional most of the time. For technical thing to work, you need sequential, and you need to have a process. You need to have a very clear cut, black and white process. Most of the businesses or business processes are not that, because it was not set up like that before computers. They've been using the business processes which they've used before. There are a few changes here and there, but it was not made with technology in mind. Technology changes a lot, and it is harder to adapt. There is also a stat in I don't know where, I'll give you that later, because it was recent, very recent, in 2019. Marketers are 5 years behind the new strategies. 5 years behind new strategies, which is really intriguing for me. Why would you be 5 years behind? Why are you using those strategies because technology changes so much, it is harder to keep up. As a techie, it is easier to keep up with technology, and I have some challenges with marketing side of it. I'm not going to say I am the best marketer in this whole world, but I know most of the concepts of what marketing is all about and how you can go about and use the digital marketing. Don't get me for the offline marketing, digital marketing strategies. Am I making sense?
Yeah, because one of the things, because I'm from the old school marketing without any technology, or less technology at least, and it gets me confused because I see lots of marketing. I think mostly the newcomers marketers, which focus on technology, and that makes me crazy, because and the people, what the fuck. Because that's the problem, because you should automate and put there, and the sales funnel, and there, and the bottom of and the bottom and the top of the funnel and the middle of the funnel, and then the people go around like they were rats on the trap, and really, because for instance, for me, the funnel doesn't work as a customer.
No, that is the thing. This is where the whole the process comes in. Every one of us have a sales process. Okay, every one of us know and have some kind of sales process. It doesn't have to be full-fledged. I'll come to the sales funnel of it, and I'll finish it as soon as. And once we set up the profit, the technology to it, it will work fine. And most of the time, marketers come at a state, you don't have to worry about technology. We've got every framework done. Really? How can you not worry about technology and use technology? Which boggles me. Like, don't worry about the car, drive the car is not. At least you need to know what mechanics are saying when something goes wrong in your car. It is that analogy I would use. Explain that to people. Have a good understanding of what the process is, and then fit the technology to it. Yes, most of the time you don't have to worry about technology if you set it up right.
Yeah, because well, but the problem I I think the problem is every time, because technology, if you want, it could easy. Well, okay, you got frozen again. I think it's too cold in Scotland.
Oh yeah, it's sunny today, to be frank with, actually.
Well, I think here too it's sunny, but not so warm. I guess we should wait till May, so the temperature goes up, because I think we always trying to shortcut everything. And if you have technology, okay, let me put technology working for me, making me work less, and okay, let's see how does it work, and then it doesn't work, and then blame it on the technology, blame it on the platform, blame it on the tool, and not on the strategy. It was not my fault. Facebook doesn't work. Google Ads doesn't work. Email marketing is dead.
Yeah, email marketing. Email, for many people, email doesn't work is because they have not used it right. They've made a really fun of it, to be frank with. I love email marketing. Wherein I come from a background where I think pull marketing is better than push marketing. The old way of marketing is push marketing. People confuse marketing with sales as well. So what makes it so difficult is marketing is about education, it's about visibility, it's about letting people know what you can do, what your business can do. Whereas sales is, once they get that, you push it. But using marketing platforms for pushing people into buying is not right, in my opinion. You educate them, you disrupt their thinking of, there is another solution for my problem. If I go to this person, this person will say, solve my problem, instead of, this is this, you've got to come. It's not how it works anymore, and people don't want to be pushed. They want to buy, there's nothing wrong in it, but they don't want to be pushed to sell or to buy, which is I so unethical, in my opinion. I'm not pointing out fingers at anyone. You don't have to shout. If your service and your product is good enough, people will come. Market them. Yes, you not be sitting on your backside and not marketing. Market them, but don't worry about these things. And I wrote an article about content funnel. So anyone wants, I'll put a link in there, and you can think about it as well. Now, when it comes to chatbots almost, it's not old concept when it comes to AI or chatbots. In reality, chatbots has been there since 1950s.
Oh my!
It's not a new concept. It's really not new concept. It has become a new concept because it was available for many people to use in their business. It became like computers. At one point, only computers could sit in a big room where there is too many computers and go in, and you need a special authorization to get into computer room and all of that. It's when a laptop came and when IBM introduced the systems, it became one of those norm to have a computer. It's chatbots. Facebook made it available for many people to use chatbots a lot easier. But the Facebook itself is almost killing. It killed chatbots or messenger bots, not chatbots as such, messenger bots, because it was not used properly. There are a few platforms which I am partner of as well. Don't get me wrong. I am not going to be hypocrite and say I don't use those platforms. That's not my point. My point here is chatbots are dying because people who design them are not making it conversational. They are making it more transactional. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. What is conversational? Bot or voice bots or chatbots carry on a conversation with a human being. When I'm talking slowly because Marco has got other audiences who doesn't have English as their first language, so it's easier for me to talk slowly so that they can understand. So please bear with me here. What I mean by conversational and transactional is website most of the time is not conversational. It's more informational and transactional depending on the intent. You go on an e-commerce site, this is the product, this is the description, this is what you need to buy.
That's
okay?
it.
There is no transaction, there is no anyone telling them what this product may do, what are the other things this product may do. There is no educational side to it. This is transactional. As if like I go to a shop and say, I want that. Okay, you want that? Give it to me. And then I buy, this is the amount I pay for it, and I buy that product. This is transactional. And at the same time, a salesman comes into your house or knocks on their door and says, hey, I've got this door or windows or car or this product, I am buying it. So that is how chatbots have become. This is what is making chatbots die. Messenger bots at least, not chatbots as a whole, because people are investing in this. The second part of it is conversational. Okay, what do I mean by conversational? It is more, you don't go to a person and just ask a person, can you buy this? Or your friend. You become friends, you understand what their problem is, you listen to them, because people want salespersons to be listeners, isn't it? Not many are. So what I would say is listening, carrying the intelligent conversations is what humans do. This is how voice bots have to be as well. Am I making sense here? We humans are more conversational. We want the relationship, we want the banter, we want the someone to understand. If Marco doesn't understand howdy, I've got to translate that into hello or whatever his language is, so I should be able to converse. Hopefully I've given you a better understanding of what I mean conversational and transactional. I'm not saying you don't know, but this is, I want to get that across. The second thing is voice bots or assistants, chatbots are your assistants. Just imagine someone is coming to your office. You've got an assistant who's human. How are you? I'm fine. What do you want? Oh, I am looking for this. Oh, that is there. Would you keep that assistant in your office to serve you? No. So you are not supposed to be creating chatbots in that fashion. You've got an emotion, you've got a personality, you've got a banter to go on and weather to talk about. I'm not saying just put the weather irrespective. I'm saying you should carry on the conversation. At one point, if the bot doesn't understand, you can hand it over to a human to answer. Automating conversation doesn't mean it has to be robotic. And many didn't understand this. Call centers have been scripted. Like you ask people, it's a human talking from the script. You didn't like that, did you? Many didn't like call center people scripted, and they talk about the same thing again and again. You ask the same question, they give you the same freaking answer, but it's not working. So you've almost taken that really not working process and converted into a chatbot, which is, in my opinion, stupid. It's not clever. No offense to anyone. You can call me whatever you want. I'm not going to be bothered. It is complete stupidity. It became, just because artificial intelligence is, or conversational AI. Let me go to the conversational, why important it is. Conversational AI is three aspects, three of the AI in its own. One is machine learning. It learns from whatever you say. It collects the data. Oh, when Marco comes back next, he will be saying hello or something else. So I need to converse with him in that way. So it collects data. And there is a deep learning, which is in the middle, which learns what it is. And also it is about the intelligence factor of the conversation in itself. These three aspects, hopefully I'm making sense here. I'll put a diagram what I mean by that. So these elements are more important. Machine learning, deep learning, and deep thinking, and all of these things are more important. So your voice bots or your chat bots, conversational AI can be used. Voice bots like voice actions, voice search. If I ask my Google, hey Google, what is the weather today? It talks back to me. Those are voice bots. Your Siri, your Alexa. You can see my Google is saying I can't help you with that because it didn't understand what I was talking about. So it is Siri or Alexa, whatever. They are voice bots. You create bots for them. Whereas for the messenger platforms like Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, Telegram, WeChat, we call them chatbots because it is more text-based chatbots. So you carry on the conversation to have the emojis. Do you speak to a person without emojis? So it is, I am not preaching or anything here. Please take into consideration how would your customer converse. First, get that right. Even if you've got to get 10 people around and ask them to speak to you, to a customer service engineer, and record every conversation and then build your bot, it will be a lot more easier. You can automate it and humanize the bots. It is no point whatsoever having an idea of getting someone else who is not knowing about your culture to come in. I'm a consultant. It is really, really hard for us to go and give a solution if we have not observed what the company is all about. I cannot very well say, oh, Marco comes and asks me, oh, I want to create a chatbot. Fine, Marco. What is the objective of your chatbots? I want to automate the conversation. Okay, what conversation do you want to automate? Oh, I just want to automate the conversations. Okay, what conversations do you want me to automate? I was like, it doesn't make any sense. I'll tell you a story. A couple of months ago, end of December, I think, I was speaking to a potential client, and she wanted me to develop a group app in a way, but it should sit on the Facebook Messenger. If someone comes to their page and asks for this bot, and it will automatically propagate that question to 10 different people who are in that group, and they carry on the conversations. Once a person carries on the conversation, the question should be closed so that the other person doesn't pick it up, because they are paying by the conversation they carry on. And she says, it is a very simple one, create a bot. And I said, I need to speak to you at least, I need 3 to 4 consultation calls. I need to understand what the prototype the bot. This is where the design thinking comes in place, where you prototype what the conversation is going to look like, and then implement AI principles. The AI principles is of machine learning and deep learning and all of that natural language processing. So NLP, which is natural language processing, machine learning, and deep thinking, these 3 needs to go in tandem for these bots to work. As a marketer who doesn't understand the whole concept of where AI is about and what AI is about, you see it as a plain old automation which was rule-based from past. Automation has been there for ages. They are always a rule-based. If someone says this, say this, do this, or so it was more of a rule-based. Don't make it a rule-based. It has to start as a rule-based, and then it has to move into natural language principles or AI principles. So your bot is clever. For example, I have got a Google Home here. I've got a Google Home at my aunt's. I go and ask the same question, where is this? Where is my florist? Or I need to get, what is my nearest florist? It should be able to understand and give me answer based on that. Not saying, oh, I've always heard your voice in Edinburgh, so I am going to give you a florist near Edinburgh. That means me traveling all the way to 45 or an hour, all the way to come to Edinburgh to get the flowers. I would have got quite a few people who are in the florist. There is another example. I am moving home. Okay, this many you might have heard about this quite a lot in AI talk. I'm calling my telephone company and saying I am moving to Birmingham. Okay, there is a city, Birmingham, here in UK. There is also a city, Birmingham, in US. The company should be able to pick up where I am and which Birmingham I am talking about. Is it a US or here? So this is where the cleverness comes in. If this is why messenger bots are dying and it's not going to go away, there are platforms where you can build these bots. When those bots are there, have a conversation. I give you 10-step process, or not even 10 steps, 7-step process. First, define what your bot is going to be. Number 1. Number 2, what is your goal? Like, you've created what are the processes which you need to automate, and what is the goal whether the chatbot can achieve from. Because chatbot is not like a software program or a big framework. Chatbot is a small bubble where you can create for one particular process, because AI has not improved that much yet. So you've got to build for one process, one bot, another process, another bot. Even if you're replicating your website menu so you've got to group it, you've got to categorize it, you've got to almost have a clinical understanding of how the whole system fits in. And no one has got that vision. First, you've created the process, and second, you've set up the goal, what that bot should, and what is the personality you want to give. If it's a customer service bot, you've got to have that personality of customer service person in that bot. If you want to give a bot another financial bot, you've got to give a personality of that financial department. Or if you're a small business owner, give the personality of you, how you would talk to a person. So that is the third one. Am I talking too much, Marco?
No, not at all. keep going.
And the first one is set up which process you want to automate, or which conversation you want to automate. The second one, I repeat, is what is the goal of that bot? What do you want that bot? And third one is how do you want the user who is talking to this bot to feel? This is where the user experience comes in. So if you want a person, for example, you've got all women, or you're a charity, you're speaking to deprived women or the young children, how do you want to speak to them? How do you want to converse with them? So you have to define that process of how, after the personality, this is how a person will talk. Marco will talk totally different from what I do. I talk too much. Don't worry. Oh yeah. You'll be here all day if Marco has not set me 1 hour. So once you've got that process on, and the fifth thing is you need to design the conversation around it. Once you've designed the conversation, you have to prototype that conversation. And then you test the conversation. So I've given you've designed the conversation, and then you prototype the whole bot, which many of us do, but you've got to working prototype the bot, and then you go and test that bot with few conversation, and then train the bot. This is the most important part, which is the 8th step, which you train the bot to understand different type of conversation. I'm not saying in the step 5, we would get all type of conversation. We would get all the words right. We would know everything right. That is not going to happen unless you train the bot to understand different type of conversation. Okay, oh yeah, he's speaking in Spanish, or then I've got to give answer in Spanish, or someone is speaking in English, I've got to give answer in English, and someone speaking in Hindi, I've got to give conversation to take part in that level. So you need to train. Yes, please don't come and ask, can I do one bot and translate it? No, you can't. You've got to have 5 different bots. Please don't ask me this question. Everyone asks me this question. Oh, one bot, can I translate all the conversation? Please don't confuse yourself and confuse other people as well. So you've got to have that idea of how am I going to do this conversation? These are the 8 steps. If you get these 8 steps right, your bot will be a clever bot, and no one will be annoyed by your bot. That's all. I'll stop talking, Marco. Ask me the question.
Well, because I think it's the that you nailed it, because people don't think that way. For instance, they just want, okay, I want this bot to sell. Okay, let's do how to shortcut the path, so they can buy as soon as they can. And okay, you made me think. I'm just my bots are not so fast, not so intelligent.
No. Everyone is. I do talk quite. I give so much information, and it does take some time to process.
I'm on. Because that's it. For instance, you told about don't translate the bots, because that's the point. Because Portuguese mindset is different, and we talk the same language. For instance, a Brazilian, our mindset is completely, well, not so completely, okay, but we are different. So it's important to shrink, if it makes sense to say shrink.
It's adapting.
That's
adapt
it. Adapt the bot to the reality which you're talking about. That's one thing that usually people look at me like I'm crazy, and because when I started my consulting and training, there was internet was at the beginning. And one of the things I used to say to people, you have to segment your market. Don't talk to everyone. Don't, because, oh, really? And for instance, if I have a store and someone which is not on my target marketing, I will send them, go away, go away. No, that's not the point. The point is you have to talk differently to your market, to your people. You have to understand which people will be more probably your customers. And that's the thing. If you speak in a more accurate language to your target marketing, which could be several, you don't have to think you just have one. That thing, that buyer persona, it's not just one buyer persona. You have many, but you should make some clusters, I don't know, some of...
Yeah, that's right. Your groups. So one of the main reason email marketing is because they failed to segment people. They just sent mass information to everyone. That is why it failed. And they're doing the same thing with chatbot. Mass information to people which they're not understanding why you need to. You nailed it, Marco.
Thank
people
you.
Are not. People are. One thing we come across this as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. One thing, when you go to a consultancy and you tell people who's your audience, and immediately they everyone.
Yeah.
Product is for everyone, unless it is like men's shoes or women's handbags, or that is when there is segment.
Well,
Even in that.
Sorry to interrupt. Even if it's that, the
Yeah.
husband can come up and bought the
by the product. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, people don't understand how a husband, for example, even in handbags, I'm not even going to husband or boyfriend buying this for women, or girls or women buying their stuff for husband and boyfriend. What I would say is, even in that level, someone can buy 10,000 euros handbag and another person would be looking for 100 euro handbag. Even that you've got to segment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, my handbags are for really posh people or people who can spend 10,000 pounds or 10,000 euros to buy my handbag. Whereas even that kind of segment should happen. And after that, what you said is completely right. How would a husband come and ask, oh, I want to buy a gift for my lady, what should I buy? You should be easy enough, like the bot or the customer service agent should be able to tell, oh yeah, what kind of, you should collect what type of, what is the price range, what color do you think she likes, how is she built. It doesn't have to be, is she tall, short, or does she carry leather bags, or she prefers cloth bag, or she prefers this. It has to collect that information and then send that information to another person. Oh yeah, that is the department you need to go to buy. So this is where these are the things should happen. There is no shortcuts in marketing. You cannot just set up a marketing campaign today. People, it can be reduced, it can be done, okay, but when you set it up, it will take time. So think about it. Work that time in your campaign before you start your campaign. Think, okay, I would take at least 90 days for me to think about these things. 6 months, you need to, if you're going to put a bot on you need at least 3 to 6 months lead time. Yeah, you can put bot on 4 weeks. I can create a bot in 4 weeks. You don't even need 4 weeks. 2 weeks is enough to create a bot. But you need to have a preparation time to prepare for this. Okay, they will ask this question, they'll ask that question. How is my bot going to react to it? This is the problem. Yesterday, you would have seen on my post, someone had said, oh, how do I stop bot annoying me?
Kill him. Oh, I have the sound. Wait. No more bots.
Exactly. I would say, as a person, I would say, just go and talk to the person, unsubscribe. Every bot should have unsubscribe feature. Unsubscribe. And even after that, they are sending, just block them. Once they get few blocks on their bots, it will be cancelled. Their page would be cancelled. They can't. They've got to create a new page and start over again. It is not fair to have annoy some people. Many people have taken that for granted, that you can annoy people just by sending. That is why Facebook has sent that article you sent me, Marco, yesterday or day before yesterday. That article is talking about the death of is. You can put that link in after our chat or after our discussion. What it meant by is, Facebook is taking discover feature. You can discover bots on Facebook Messenger. Okay, up until even today, you can discover bots on the Facebook, because that was one of their strategy in 2016, 2017. People would be able to discover the bots, which they can. How many weather bots do you think is Facebook has got? So many of them. Weather is only one weather. It's like they've got about 10 or 12 weather apps, which is not going to help in any way or form. So they're taking the discover feature of the Facebook Messenger so that they cannot discover chatbots. If someone knows there is a chatbot, they can go and find out. So that's not a problem, but that discover feature is going. That is what he mean by that. Another thing Facebook has done is you cannot sell on Facebook Messenger anymore unless it has been initiated by the user. Every time it has to be initiated by the user. You cannot broadcast any messages. You cannot tell I've got an offer. You cannot do any such things. It is because it has to be through Facebook ads. They want to make money, right? So it has to be through the Facebook ads. This is another stipulation or compliance issue. And the third one is, if someone is subscribing to your bot, you've got 24 hours to sell. Okay, this is totally wrong. This is the death of bots. The real final death call is this. You've got 24 hours to sell to this person. You can do promotional material. You can do whatever you want within that 24 hours. So that means you're sending, or you're subscribing to my bot, you're sending the link to my bot 8 o'clock in the evening. You've got 24 hours that 8 o'clock next day, you can send promotional materials. How much ever, it doesn't matter. Which is, some people are using it very carefully. Some people are not using it carefully. They're sending the promotion material every other hour, which is not going to. Again, even in that, they've got to respond it back. If they responded back, from that response time, you've got 24 hours. So you've got chances of that, and you have got to be a little bit more careful. And you, on your first date, you are not going to ask someone to, can you come, can we sleep? No. On your first date, you'll go for a coffee and then you'll set up a second date. Not, okay, can we get married or can we go to bed or whatever. The thing is, you don't do it. There are norms of how you carry on a conversation with people. So within the 24 hours, create the relationship. Tell them what your promotions are. There's nothing wrong in telling people what the promotions are. That's what marketing is all about. Promotions and all of those things. You tell them, yeah, I've got this course, I've got that course, but carry the conversation. We are human. So that conversation should happen within the bot. Your bot is you cloned into assistant. Your clone is your bot. How many times have we said, I wish I had two people like me, or I wish I can clone myself. Clone yourself into a bot. This is how you behave. That is how your bot should behave. This is what conversational AI is all about. It carries on the conversation. It doesn't automatically talks to you in a robotic voice, which is not going to work.
Absolutely. Well, because I think I'm always coming up with this syndrome. I think it was me who invented the syndrome, which is the grandpa's syndrome. How did it came to my mind? Have you ever seen this thing? Let's imagine we have a kid, 2-year-old, 3-year-old kid,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
he's making some bad things, not behaving properly, and
Yeah.
then he comes the father and wants, okay, I want to give you some slap because you're not behaving. And the grandparent is there and says, oh, don't hit the boy or the girl, right? Does it make sound to you? And
Yeah, that happens all the time.
then the father asked to his father, well, when I had his age, you hit me. You slapped me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense. So when I was his age, you slapped me, and now I can't? Why so? And that's the problem with lots of businessmen and women.
Yeah.
They behave differently depending on if they are business owners or clients or customers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So stop doing this.
Yeah, that's treat other people like you want to be treated.
Absolutely.
Would you allow other people's bot to annoy you? No. So don't annoy people with your bot or with your answers or with your whatever strategy you're using. Most of the time they are tactics, they are not strategies. They don't use strategies, they use tactics. That's where tactics annoy people. Okay, when it's not being used with a strategy in mind, it will annoy people. Don't use chatbots as tactic. That is exactly what has become my course, which I am still building. I was supposed to build last year. Chatbots, it is all about strategy. It is not talking about how to build a chatbot. It is about how to think about chatbot as a strategy in your business. So that gives you a good understanding. You can hire anyone, even a person who is new to chatbots. You can hire and guide them how to build a chatbot the way you want it. Instead of giving, Marco, you're a chatbot designer, go and build the chatbot.
It should be easy. It should be easy.
Yeah, it should be easy. You're a techie person. You should be easy. I was like, no, I am not Marco, and that is not my business. So it is really, really hard for a person, for a technical person to create a bot without having a strategy, without having a goal, without thinking about the personality, without thinking about prototype. Prototyping doesn't need any technical knowledge. The prototype could be on the piece of paper or the board if you want. It doesn't have to have technical knowledge. It is like a flow. Oh, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want that. So it is the flow of how it has to behave. All of us have created a prototype of a house when we were in the school, right? If someone asks you to build a house, you just go get the cardboard, you build the house, and you take it to your school or to your class and explain how you built that. So it makes sense. They're not architects. You're not going to ask those kids in this second class to come and build your house, but they've got an idea of, oh, this is how I could build a house. So you take to that type and you show it to an architect, and yeah, I can build that house. That's not a problem. That is how you need to be thinking of anything. It doesn't matter whether it's a chatbot or a software program. I automate. One of the biggest challenge why I moved from corporate consulting to small business owners is corporate consulting. I've got so much money. They can throw money at you, or they're not bothered about. They talk about strategy. They talk about prototyping. They talk about everything, but they don't follow anything. They build a prototype, and the prototype and the final product are two different things. And I moved from, I thought small business owners should not do this, because they are building, initially they're one-man band, and then initially they go build other things. So I felt I can help small business owners to think strategically, use the technology effectively, so that they have that freedom instead of having a technology and working 24/7 and 365 days. In this year it's 366 days. So it doesn't make any sense whatsoever for me to not use the technology effectively. It's mind-boggling. It's sometimes you just think, why?
Yeah. Well, because I think that's it. We are too lazy because and so how should I say this? For instance, today we have these gurus who say to you, well, the proper length of a video should be this, and then you take it just as it is, like that. Okay, it is okay. I have to, even though you have to explain how to make, for instance, we need to explain to someone to create a video, to explain to someone why it is important, 5 reasons why it is important to prototype your chatbot. But a nonsense guru said to you, okay, your video should be 10 seconds length. And you say, oh, I can't do it in 10 seconds. How can I make it? I won't. And that's not it. Because other thing, people doesn't do that. People doesn't, and I used to make it really pragmatic. On my trainings, when someone said to me, I give some example. Oh, I don't do like that. Okay, do you have a Ferrari? No, I don't. So people won't buy Ferrari because you don't have it, and they get, okay. I know you. I get your point. Because we are, I guess we are too. There's a dictator. I don't know if it's how we say it. It's like we are ruled by statistics. For instance, we go to a restaurant. I ask 5 chicken. I eat 5 chicken, and you just drink a glass of water. Okay.
Yeah.
In mean, we ate 2.5 chickens both.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the problem about this. We are too many. We are overruled by statistics, and we don't look at that as we should look, as a perspective. There's
it is a guide.
Yeah.
The statistics and an expert saying to you, this is how you need to do. I always say, challenge the expert and ask them why they say what they say. If they could explain why they say, oh, your video should be 10 seconds, then you take them with a pinch of salt. Again, you don't agree to them 100%. Take it with a pinch of salt. Go try it. If it didn't work for you, then go to the expert and say, it doesn't for me, tell me what other things. One knows everything. Okay, no one knows. I am talking about something today, and I would go to Marco, I don't understand that. How do you do this? So Marco would be able to explain that to me. So take it with a pinch of salt and understand, okay, this is how it works, and it's also your mindset as well. This is how it works. 10 minutes I can explain. If I am a non-English speaker, and this expert is an English speaker, you've got to make it 10. If I'm a non-English speaker, which I am, English is not my first language either. I would say I need more time, because your mind has to process that 5 things you're saying, and then you've got to explain it to the person who is an English speaker. I am not an English speaker to an English speaker in a language where you need. That happens to the same thing to no foreign speaker as well. They have to explain that. Rome was not built in a day. And a mother having 4 children, all 4 children have not been born in the same way. I'm not saying conceiving, I'm saying they were not. First could be normal delivery, and the second could be operation or home delivery, and third could be in the hospital, and fourth could be middle of nowhere and a cesarean. You never know how these all things are working. They're all guidelines. Take it with a pinch of salt and try to apply to your thinking and do it with the full heart. Don't take shortcuts is never paid dividends in long run. It might work for you today, or it might get you caught. So please, I beg you, if you're not taking anything from this, whatever I've been chatting for last 1 hour, take this with pinch of salt. Shortcuts never worked. It will never work. And don't be transactional. Be conversational. Be the social person who be that person. They buy from you. They buy you. Not Apple products, even though it is very popular right now, or it has got a big market, it did dip when the founder has passed away. It did dip because they didn't understand, I bought because of Steven, I bought because of it. It doesn't make any sense to people. I used to study business plans for investors. When I say board is ready, they will agree to that, even if the idea is bad. If the board is agreeable, coachable, then we can prepare the idea. We can remodel the idea. If the board is not, if the founder is not good enough, I cannot tell people, I would say, they are not coached. I don't think investment would be of any use. It's because they are not bending. They are not. It is the investment goes for the founder, not for the idea, most of the time.
Yeah, because I think another problem is that ideas are overrated.
Yeah, they are.
That makes me crazy when someone, I don't have the good idea. Or I also have seen business teachers telling how important it is to have a great idea, and I asked them, really? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Because ideas, if you go to Google, you can find 1 million business ideas, good ideas. But the problem is the implementation.
Have they applied?
That's the problem. That's the problem, because I know by my example, my way, the way I made that. At the beginning, I was thinking, okay, this will be the good idea, but implementation, application, I found, okay, that's not the right way, but I see some light over there. Let's go.
Yeah.
And that's it. If 4 years ago you'd ask me, okay, you will be doing live videos with professionals all around the world and speaking different languages, and so I would say, oh, you're crazy. Don't you're crazy. Get to your mind. But that's it.
I am the same. It's the implementation. What you said is good.
Yeah, and that's it. Okay. don't, because sometimes we get stuck by that. Okay, I don't have the amazing idea. Why? Okay, I want to be next Facebook, next to Google, and so on. That places are already taken. Okay, so don't try to be that. And we are stuck. We don't do anything. We are waiting for our opportunity, and it doesn't come because you have to create that. Okay, Sudha, can you do a wrap up about this a really important and insightful conversation about chatbots, please?
Chatbots has not died. Conversational AI is improving and evolving. So pay attention to the conversation rather than to the technology. Technology can build anytime and do anything with it, because today there are few platforms. Tomorrow there'll be new 4 more platforms which will come. So get your strategy right, get your steps right, get your conversations right. Be that person everyone want to buy from, not be that person who pushes that sale. That's what my whole concept is. Be very, very strategic in your conversation, in your strategy, in your implementation, in creating the creating that environment or the experience, user experience you want to achieve. That's all. Don't be a villain.
Very
Be
good.
the hero.
Well, I have this final thing. I don't know how do I say. Final. Well, at the end of my shows, I ask to my guests 4 things.
Yeah.
A professional, a shout out, a book,
Yeah.
a tool, and a habit.
Yep.
A legal and healthy habit.
Okay. Okay. So you want me to answer those 4 questions? Professional, I would say, what I said, be very strategic. That is my takeaway. Or if you want to take away that, be very strategic about anything. That is my takeaway as a professional for me.
I'm
the
asking,
second one.
Okay, I'm asking a suggestion, a professional which you suggest people to follow.
Oh, professional suggestion. Okay. Oh God. The question is, I always liked Steve Jobs, even though with all his negativities, there's been stories going around.
Nobody's
everything.
perfect.
No one is perfect. So just when you've got to follow other person, but be yourself is my take on it. You can follow as many as you want, but be yourself. That is one thing. And I don't recommend any of the living gurus, for unfortunately I don't want to. Not that I don't follow them, but everyone is different. So I will leave at that. And the second is the book.
A book.
I recommend.
Yeah.
A book I recommend. This is not a new book in any way or form. This is the first book which has changed my life or my thinking. It's New Psycho-Cybernetics. I will put that book in. It's by Maxwell Maltz. Okay, how do I type this? Okay. New Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell. I've got so many books, but this is my favorite go-to book. I've typed that.
Okay.
It's a New Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. It's more of a mindset kind of book. It's self-development book. That is my suggestion if you want to. And the recent book I read was one of my friend's own book, Resilience Learned. She is, or she used to be, the victim of Sri Lankan war. So that was the recent book I read, and I read all book and games people play. I've got so very long list. I will just keep myself short here. And the third one was the third one you asked me.
A tool.
A tool. For me, because we are talking about chatbots, I would suggest use ManyChat.
Okay, perfect.
Which is is the east, and they've got free plan as well. If you want to create a chatbot free, please, just because it's free, don't undervalue this. That's my one of the things which I would say, always follow the steps of creating that. It is ManyChat chat that I really like as a tool, and there are quite a lot of, I'm a software person, I take gadget freak. I've got so many tools which I'll be here again to talk about, and I love books as well. So those are the two things. The professional was the hard one, and the fourth one is habit. Oh God, be yourself. This is the hardest habit I think anyone could carry on, because we've been programmed in such a way that we've got to be always someone else. Be like your dad. When you're a kid, you've been told be like your dad, or be like your mom, or be like your brother. Behave, and all of that. Yes, it is important, but being you is more important as well. If you follow your things right, I think it is hard. The habit another habit which you can pick up is public speaking.
Oh, great.
As a business owner, we all must be a public speaker in one way or form. If it scares you so much, please go to Toastmasters and learn the skill. Yes, it is. It's got other things in it, but go to Toastmasters and learn the skill, and then be yourself as well at the same time. Because once you get rid of that fear, you will be yourself anyway.
Yeah.
That fear has to go. So we need to have a lifeline to get rid of that fear.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, that's all. Hopefully.
Well, perfect.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for everybody that was watching. If you are watching the record, please put your doubts or questions on comments, and tag Sudha so she can have the notification about your question, please. If you have also some suggestions about topics that soon we can come to the screen, and some guests, please be my guest. For those of you who are watching, this afternoon at 3 p.m. GMT time, I will be with some other friends talking about live streaming and things that I've been making, and we are sharing our knowledge, our experience. So I have on my timeline, wherever you are, that shared. Sudha, thank you. If you want to send some, please tell people how they can find you on internet.
Oh, I am on LinkedIn most of the time. I really respond to it a lot more quicker, unless I'm in meeting most of the time. And I'm on Facebook, please. And also my website, which is www.sudhamani.com, is my website.
Okay. Did you type?
So most of the social media, I did type it just now.
Okay.
And most of the time, you can find me on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, subscribe. That's one of my strategies for this year. Subscribe to my channel, and I do talk on my.
Let me. Okay. Let me put your website. There it goes. Well, thank you a lot. It was a pleasure. I think we all had great time, and I'm processing. I'm still processing the information. It was it's good. It's good to because I think the main problem about everything, it's not the tools. Tools are overrated. Absolutely. It's a little strategic, it is, but mostly it is a mindset problem we have. because we want to shortcut everything. We want to go a short way. We want to go faster because that's also a buzzword. Go fast, 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 fast. Do it fast. And
I am all for it. I'm all for it. Without going down, you've got to go fast. Okay, so it is not taking the shortcut gets you faster. People think that is what it gets you faster. If you do things right, it will get you faster as well, because none of them are doing it right.
Yeah,
So the highway is law free, or shortcuts are traffic jam.
yeah, it is. It is. Well, thank you again. Another applause. Thank you. Hope to see you soon here again, and we will be sharing.
Yeah, you've got to come on my show.
Okay,
you've
absolutely.
got to come on my show.
Absolutely. Soon I will book your
that's right. Yeah.
an hour for you. And okay, thank you for those of you who were watching. I wish you all a nice week. I will be back soon to my live shows. Be there watching. And bye bye. See you.
Bye. See ya.